Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I'm going to talk about the new additions with Major Update 41. And I'm probably going to start off with arguably the most useful addition, which is improved user interface option in the bonds page. For the heroes, you can now select an icon under the Gates of Fate tab, and you can very quickly select the battles you want to do and sweep them. Alright. So they've simplified the way you can do Gates of Fate runs, right? I select a character, check off the battles I want, click sweep, and it will just do the battles that will earn shards. This didn't you used to have to go into the character, go into Gate of Fate, and then manually choose the battles. Now, if you've done their Gates of Fate once, they'll appear in the Gates of Fate section. You can select the hero, check off the battles, and sweep them. Okay, so simplified. The only downside is you can't go through this in the heroes page. Right. If I try, for example, if I click on the hero and click go, it will just send me, you'll have to manually sweep. But still, it's a nice time saver, that's for sure. The next addition that is really worth mentioning is the covenants got downgraded. Okay, so for example, if I click Thor and expand the information about him, the talent for Thor now says that he can get up to 40 Raging Thunder stacks. Okay. So there's now a limit on the number of stacks of buffs that they can get. Frigga can get up to how many buffs can Frigga get? It's written here. Frigga can get up to 50 stacks of Divine Feather. And finally, Heimdall is capped at 40 stacks of Sword of the Light Key, or Light of the Sword Key. Okay. This makes sense because as demonstrated in the Challenge 4 that I had just done of the Masquerade events, Heimdall could pretty easily get like 100 stacks of Light of the Sword Key. And if you combine that with Galahorn, 100 stacks, each stack providing 15% increased damage means 1,500 increased damage, which allowed your characters to one-shot a challenge boss. That's absurd, that should not happen. So basically all the covenants got weakened. So next, let's go into the Secret Realm. And in the Secret Realm, there is the Glorious Annals of Lodos limited time event running. Right. I'm not going to do the battle, but briefly mentioning it, this event is a rerun. Right. So I've cleared it in the past, this is a rerun, and if I just take a look at the event itself, it's a very typical event. Right? It's an old one, so it's a point gathering one. You have to get up to 90,000 points to get everything. It'll give Parn shards here. And the recommended heroes are Listel, Lucretia, Suzette, Bernhard, Hilda, Muller, Matthew, Almeda, Liffany, and Egbert. So the bottom four, pretty much everyone has no matter what. And then the SRs, not everyone would have. But makes it pretty easy to auto battle this for the points anyways. As for the, we're only starting off at 35, and you'll slowly get more points. Okay, next. So, in the events page, of course, there is the Dietlit and Ashram banner being rerun. There is the new major update banner, Twisted Gears of Twilight with Michelle and Gustav. There is a crossover special with Lodos War that will give you some pure test shards. Right? So as long as you log in for 5 days, you can get 60 pure test shards to summon her. Okay. Glorious Annals of Lodos, of course, that gives Parn shards as well as some pure test shards if I recall correctly. The Echoes of Light this time around has skins for the new heroes, Gustav and Michelle. There's skins for the previous banner heroes of Emperor Lovina and Synthesis of the Ark. And then there is the crossover heroes Parn and Dietlit. Alright, so that's it for the events. Secret Realm store, there's 2 new equipments. First one is King of the Red Moon. The other one, which I had already bought, is one for Autokratos. Okay. So the Autokratos one allows him to steal buffs when he does damage to enemies. Okay. So since I do have Autokratos built, I bought that one. The Reinforced one, or King of the Red Moon one, I don't know. I don't really use my King of the Red Moon. Despite having him at 5 stars, what I've personally found is his attack is very, very low. It's much lower than most characters, you know, so that's why I'm not sure I will build him. But this one for Autokratos will definitely need to be utilized. And I'm gonna have to upgrade that later. You know, roll some enchants on it. So, you know, the stealing buffs part is pretty darn good, I have to say. But I'll do that afterwards. What's next? Okay, so I've covered the Secret Realm, covered the events, talked briefly about the bonds. Oh, the Heart Bond is for a hero that I don't actually have. It's supposed to be for, I think, Suzette. Right? So the confession scene is what I mean. But I don't have Suzette, so I can't, you know, show the new Heart Bond symbol. But if you have Suzette and you unlock her Heart Bond, yes, she now has a confession scene for what it's worth. Moving on. So next is, well, of course I should mention, you know, there's a lot of new gift packs, but the gift packs are just the standard ones on the usual cycle, right? You know, just the major update ones. So Gates of Fate runs and Trinity vouchers, for example, you know, Covenant invitation for speeding up Covenants, the hero promotion pack for unlocking a hero quickly, so on and so forth. There's not a unique one, is what I should say here. They're all just standard. And the next thing to talk about is in the world map. You know, notice there is now part 3, chapter 6. So chapter 6 to chapter 10 have been added. Right? For those who want to clear the storyline. Truthfully speaking, I'll be very slow with this. You know, I haven't even done the time riff. So let alone doing the plot battle. I'm just falling behind on this kind of content. In addition to that, though, there is also this new Poem of the Warrior section. Right? So there was Yggdrasil's Memories for Act 2. There's now Poem of the Warrior for Act 3. You know, fragmented stories, basically. Right? Each of them have a hidden chest. There are 2 more here. Right? And then it shows the next chapter, Chapter of Magic Light, which is going to unlock with Part 3, Chapter 20. Given we are only on Part 3, Chapter 10, you know, that's not going to unlock for a while. And then the final addition is in the Floating City, which is a pretty darn big one. So, first of all, with the Floating City, they added multiple new buildings. Probably the most important upgrade right now will be the Sissy White Encode Trading Post, because at level 7 it unlocks seeds, and level 8 it unlocks weapon modules. Alright, that is linked with the new buildings, the Traveler's Salad Bar for seeds, right, to make salads, and then the weapon modules to synthesize weapons. So Traveler's Salad Bar, clearly you're going to need to build the fertile lands, which you can build up to 4 of. You know, fertile lands will use the seeds for you to plant things. You plant crops. The crops can be used to make salad bar items. And the salad bar items the synthesized salads can give things like, you know, stamina and so on. As for the Weapon Forging Center, it's linked to the semi-auto mines. And what it should be for is for manufacturing weapons. Right? And you have a chance of getting SSR weapons. The third building is the Floating City Post Office. And here is just, you can take a look at letters, right? And these letters are just when you complete missions, you can receive these letters, and letters, I guess it's just for fun. You can collect it, various items here. So what they added is like, there are now new like battle events here that you can claim. Like over a character, there might be a battle icon. And if you click on them and fight their battles, which are very easy battles, you know, you can complete these daily missions. That's pretty much it. I've already done it, right? You get daily missions and they reset every day. Finally, there was like a little bit of a treasure hunt. There's like now little icons that you can claim around the map, okay? And if you grab them, you will get these clues here, okay? I'm not quite sure what the clues do yet. You know, I have not played on a Chinese server, so I'm going to complete the daily missions, grab the clues, and hopefully in a week or so, I'll see exactly what this is. Last but not least, there was a way to expand the territory, okay, from the town hall. Okay. I think you can only expand it once. That's why I'm not seeing the option anymore. Okay, but basically the expansion from the town hall adds a new area, a new zone to put down more buildings. And that's why I have some empty territory here, because I moved some of the buildings I'm less likely to use into this region. Just a way so that I can manage everything centrally. Yeah. So new buildings to construct, new, more time-consuming things. I would say the top priority for building is the Sissy Trading Post, then probably the salad bar with the fertile lands, and then finally the weapon foraging center with the auto mines. Simply because you need a level 8 to do the weapon modules. Level 7 is for seeds, level 8 is for weapon modules, so there will be some wait time before you can do those weapon module things. There are 4 types of salads that can be made. The first type of salad will recover some stamina. So for example, the land, sea, and air salad will recover 50 stamina, and it will also increase the stats of all units by 5% as long as it's not for PvP. So this salad might be very good if you're barely unable to clear a map and you need that 5% extra stats, or you want the extra stats for clearing something like Ancient Beckoning that runs for as long, you're trying to output the maximum damage possible. The second type, so those are 2 salads. The third salad is used for limited time events. And this salad, what it does is you get 50% increased rewards for farming a battle. So for example, if I take a look here, there is this Black Gold Treasure salad, right? Replay stages to increase rewards by 50%. So in some ways you can say it also reduces the amount of stamina. And then the fourth type of salad is for sweeping world map events. So you can use these salads to just sweep these world map battles instead of having to clear them manually. The big drawback of making salads though is salad creation does require mana ore apparently, and given that mana ore is probably the most limited resource in terms of construction, you need a lot of it to build a lot of these buildings. So not quite sure when you would actually want to start manufacturing salads, in other words, due to the mana requirement. As for weapon foraging is actually pretty darn good in that it seems like you have roughly a 1 in 5 rate or 20% chance of getting SSR. So it's fairly high. But the foraging is pretty slow, and it uses the resources like limonite, limestone, lumber, that kind of stuff. So you'll probably constantly forage as much as possible. And as a side note, you can see that I've completely halted the Town Hall upgrades for now. So Town Hall is still at level 19, Counterclockwise Tower is still at level 3, because these buildings need so much mana ore. I'd rather hold on to the mana ore in case I need it to build these buildings or upgrade them. The final thing that I need to mention with new additions is the training. There are 4 new soldiers here that I forgot to mention. Let's start with the Holy and Demon section. So, in Holy and Demon, there is a new Demon Soldier, Giant Spirit figurine. Kong was actually mocking this name because figurines are inherently small. So how do you have a giant one, right? But this one is a Demon Soldier. And if it enters battle with less than 100 health, then it'll restore health after battle, which is kind of an interesting mechanic. So it's a Demon Soldier that can be used by a pretty wide variety of characters, but I'm not sure I'm going to build it. Right? For example, Listel, Gizarov, Yusuke, and Shilinka and Transcender aren't really used. Right? I don't have Albedo, I don't use Vargas, so the only characters I have that could use this soldier is Epsilon and Autokratos, and I'm not that convinced that I want this soldier for them. So that's the first one. The next soldier, is it branching off the wizard? Yes. Fairy Spirit Prophet. So this one is a mage class soldier with 5 movement. Alright. And deals magic damage. When attacking and entering battle, attack is increased, damage dealt also increases, and reflect damage taken is decreased as well. So given that, you know, Lolly Jess, Lana, Young Jess, you know, and oh my gosh, and Mew can use it. There's a wide variety of characters that can use this soldier, and it might be worth building, mainly for Lolly Jess. But it's just for my alt account, especially since my alt account does use all 3 Jessicas, this could be a very good soldier for it. So those are the 2 new soldiers in this training ground. The next soldier is in Flyer and Aquatic, and this one is branching off the Lobster Behemoth. So the Glacial Elementals. They have 2 range inherently, but one of the things about them is first of all, they also do magic damage, and secondly, when attacking and entering battle, they have a chance of applying a strong debuff to the target after battle. And finally, as long as they're in water, they have increased attack, and the unit's attack is not affected by melee damage penalty. So interesting soldier, but very clearly based on anyone who has Tidal Surge or a similar skill to put the character in water. But yeah. So overall though, I would say there's not really a truly good aquatic character yet. I mean, I suppose Juggler is a pretty darn good one, but Juggler is a tank, so you don't particularly want an offensive soldier in my opinion. Right? So my overall summary is there's not really a great character to use these Glacial Elementals yet. So Pierre, Lester, Alfred aren't the greatest. I suppose Elucia can, but again, it's not a tanky soldier, right? Same thing for Juggler. So, and the last 4 are damage dealers, right? Kie, Gizarov, Shefaniel, and Licorice. So unless it was like a water map, there are a few water maps for Apex. It's very, very limited, at least right now. There'll probably be, I'm guessing it's for upcoming heroes, like especially Virash, right? He becomes like the console or something like that. He's a water character, so he's probably the best character for it in the near future. But right now, it seems mostly useless. And the very last soldier is in the cavalry training ground. This one branches off the Mechanical Knights, and it's the Golden Knight. So the Golden Knight has the effect of damage received is decreased as long as it's at 100% health. And it has increased attack and defense if the hero type is cavalry. So a cavalry Landius would be very, very good with this, for example. Could be quite good as well for Werner. But if in the case of Werner, you're giving up the Mechanical Knight mobility. Right? So not sure about that. And I suppose Leon and Elwyn could be viable characters for it. But once again, in the case of Leon, he can also use the Mechanical Knights, so that's really iffy. So the very final option is really just Elwyn. But do you want to give up the Unicorn, right? Terrain Master effect for Elwyn? It's kind of interesting. I think it's really just meant for Landius, because damage received reduction would apply to both physical and magic damage, as opposed to just Royal Knights who only counter physical. So I guess that would be the main reason for it. But the other characters, it would be very, very situationally dependent, right? Leon, Elwyn. Most of these characters aren't actually in cavalry class, truthfully. So, very limited due to the available characters that can use it. In my personal situation, Landius is actually in Lancer class, so the soldier, the Golden Knight, is totally useless to me. At least that's what I'm seeing right now. Okay, so that will conclude this video, since I went over those 4 new soldiers. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this useful. And on that note, Nitro out.